Studios Facebook Live. I'm Betty Brennan, the owner and founder of Taylor Studios. And this is Jason Cox. He is our creative director and production manager. He has worked here coming up on 19 years, and he's held many titles over the years. Look at those. We wear a lot of hats at a small company, and Jason's always willing to jump in. So Jason,
Yes, Betty.
why do you work at Taylor Studios for 19 years?
Great question. I just really enjoy what we do and how we do it. I believe in our mission and always have, and it's one of the things that has kept me around. And our core values, that too. I kind of connect those two together.
Yeah.
But I mean, the product we make, the people that we get to work with at all these different places all over the United States, and the people that work here, we're just surrounded with so much talent.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really cool.
Yeah,
So
I agree. I'm with you on
I
that.
just really enjoy my job.
Yeah, we're grateful to do what we do. So what's the funniest or most interesting thing that's happened to you since you've worked at Taylor Studios?
Most interesting thing that's happened to me?
Yeah,
I don't know.
while working here. We have some funny stories. Probably some not for Facebook Live.
There's a lot of stories. One of the funny things happened on an install where we were in Michigan, and we parked the truck, the box truck, and went home that evening, came in. I got a call from the office and said, "What happened to the truck?" I'm like, "Nothing happened to the truck, it's out back." And the person on the phone said, "No, it got stolen. What's going on with the truck?" And I looked out back and the truck was gone. I'm like, "Yeah, the truck's not there." Well, I guess some local police officer thought it looked shady, having our truck parked out back, and called and had it towed. And so we spent half the day looking for the truck. And getting it out of, from the cop shop. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, things happen on these installs. It's
Yeah.
kind of interesting. So what's your favorite project you've ever worked on, and why?
Oh, I hate that question. There's just so many projects, and they all have a certain meaning
Yeah.
to me. Probably the one that stands out the most is World Fishing Center. The very first project that I worked on. And I was hired, it's here about a month. I was hired as a graphic designer. Joe and Betty come to me and they say, "Hey, you want to go out in the shop and work on this big 14-foot long fish sculpture?" I said, "Sure." So,
Because that's what graphic designers
that's
do.
right. So I got to go out in the shop and carve and paint, sculpt. It was really cool.
Got to go fishing.
Definitely got to go fishing, collect samples and stuff.
We do our research.
One of the cool things with that is, it was hourly at the time, so I had some overtime money from that install, and did something very responsible. Went and bought a washer and dryer with it. Earned a lot of brownie points with Jenny when I did that. So, yeah, that's probably my most memorable because I worked with Joe, learned a lot, carried that forward.
Yeah.
And so Gettysburg's a big
job.
one. Gettysburg's really memorable for me.
Yeah.
It's so historic.
Yeah.
I mean, in every
Part of our
sense
nation.
of Gettysburg, but just the cyclorama and being able to be part of history, working on that site and that mural,
Right.
and doing the dimensional aspect that sits in front of that mural and just being part of that project
Right.
was one that really stands out
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's really meaningful. So you want to talk a little bit about what you're working on now? Some of our current projects.
Personally, I'm working on a design build project for Indiana State Museum. And I'm doing the design aspects of it as well as managing the production aspect of it. We're doing a large ice tunnel. So Ice Age, you walk through this 40-foot long ice tunnel into the gallery, and so it's a really cool experience.
Yeah.
We're working with the Marine Corps Museum right now. we're currently doing 11 figures, but I think in total within 3 years,
Yeah.
it's going to be just under 80,
Yeah, I think you're right.
under 80 Lifeguard figures.
Yeah.
So,
It's
and
a
they're
really cool project.
repeat
Great
client. Yeah, so that's pretty
70% of our clients are repeat.
Yes. We build relationships.
We're the brand here,
Right.
as you can tell.
So we did have a question come in. You guys want to answer it?
Sure, you
So I
bet.
think it's for both of you. It says, Betty and Jason, what have been some of your all-time favorite creations?
Recent
Go ahead.
history is the rebar woolly mammoth
Oh,
for
yeah.
Horicon Marsh. I
Very
mean,
cool.
that is just so cool.
That's cool.
Outdoor sculpture. So
And will
that-
be iconic for that site.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The red-tailed hawk nest, the 40-foot
Yeah.
diameter red-tailed hawk
Fort
nest,
Sheridan.
it's a Fort Sheridan.
Yeah.
The 40-foot long northern right whale,
Yeah.
in at
GTM
GTM
Ner. It's hard to pronounce that. We did go
One
there.
Talamana Matanza Ner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. You can't beat that.
Yeah, those are. There's so many.
And
cool-
just like he said though, Gettysburg, the Cyclorama, being involved in some of our, nation's biggest history, the Civil War Museum in Harrisburg or the World War I Museum in Kansas City.
Mhm.
I mean, and then all the national parks and being able to teach what we believe in and nature and so forth.
And I'm in a lot of those sites.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
immortal. I've been live cast, and I'm in World War I Museum, the Liberty Memorial. I'm at Grand Portage. I'm in Pennsylvania at the Civil War Museum.
It's a historic figure.
Yeah, I'm everywhere.
Yeah. What advice would you give to somebody that would want to be in our industry or do what we do?
To design and build exhibits.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on your schooling, but just work at it. If you really want to do it, you'll do it. Watch YouTube videos. I do. Yeah, you could call here and I could talk to you individually if you wanted to give you pointers. But if you like to sculpt, just keep sculpting. We do realism for the most part, and so really
like
work
realism.
on looking at reference and really making what you're sculpting look like that reference.
Mm-hmm.
Do your homework on that item. But it's such a broad question.
Well, and I think, I use Jason as an example in the stories we've just told. Being willing to go, yeah, I'll do that, and just having that kind of attitude to try and to be there and,
Yeah.
do what's needed. Those soft skills are critical to success.
Be open-minded. Yeah, just show initiative. Work hard. Don't complain. I can keep going.
Normal skills.
Yeah.
Well, anything else? What do you think we should share with our Facebook Live viewers? What do they want to know about Jason Cox?
Oh my goodness. I don't think they want to know anything about Jason Cox.
I think so. Just studying graphic design, but having the diverse skill set. We could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to find a program that didn't just focus on the computer, but focused on your hand skills. Because if the computer goes down, what are you going to do to meet the deadline?
Mm-hmm.
As just a general overview of that course. And so we learned how to sculpt for 3D signage. We learned technical drafting. We learned life painting, how to use the airbrush. All of those skills all in that same course. So we learned the layout and basic design for graphics,
Mm-hmm.
typography, and that thing. But with all those other skills combined, it's a really good general training for what we do, and really how you do it. Even in 3D, you start thinking in 2D,
Right.
to then do the 3D.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's all.
And just observation, all the years of fabricating. I mean, his
Yeah.
fabrication knowledge, you might talk about being in the production management role, too.
Yeah,
What you
just with experience over the years and being involved in, probably 70-80% of the projects that we've done, you learn what works and what doesn't over the years, and just brought that into the management aspect of it, and just helping solve problems with the materials that are durable for that application and what aren't. I enjoy that as the production management aspect of it. The managing people, super awesome. Love that part. But anyway, just, you know, the experience, my experience has worked well with being the production manager, in that it allows me to help the project managers and the design, or the exhibit leads, the fab leads, to solve their problems, to help, you know, get the job done.
Yeah.
Meet quality standards.
Yeah,
not
you might
only
talk
here,
about what
but
a
in the
creative
industry.
director does, you know, and even that fabrication experience helps you be the creative director in a design role.
Yeah, from the creative director standpoint, that, you know, it just allows me to direct creatively, so that it's going to be built. It can be built,
Mm-hmm.
and it can be built durable, you know, to last a 5-year warranty. But it allows me to also mentor and train the exhibit designers in there to know what works and what doesn't. It's basically, I think of creative direction as quality control,
Mm-hmm.
to an extent, especially here,
Mm-hmm.
with the creative director role.
But also knowing what engages visitors to tell the story.
Certainly.
You know, Jason has visited so many places and has so many examples. He brings those to these meetings, and it really, you know, adds to the creative aspect of our design to make that story come to life.
Yeah, I get in trouble when I go on vacation, because I'm always critiquing and looking at how they built it, and if they should have built it that way.
Or if the visitor is engaged, if anybody's
Right.
looking at it.
Observate.
You know.
I love watching visitors and how they react and interact with the exhibits, not just ours, with others, because then I could pull that into what we do.
Right.
But yeah, just watching how they, you know, what they go or what they touch, how they push the buttons, if they just go on by.
Yeah.
Visitor interaction is huge, but also after the fact, behind the scenes, client interaction is huge.
Right.
With how we design and fabricate things so that you can access that computer when it needs maintenance, or that light bulb when it needs changed.
Right.
We're very aware of that.
Ease of maintenance and assisting with the maintenance of the exhibits is really important. Yeah.
It's definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining us. I hope this was helpful, and you know, if anybody wants tips, Jason said call him.
Yeah, call.
Be happy.
Email.
Email or call. So thanks for joining us today. I hope you found this enjoyable.
Thanks.